the channel. I know it's been quite some time since the last video, so I thought for tonight we would be able to have a look at the Brutalist Architecture Around the World series. So the next one for tonight is going to be Central America. So I've got a few different buildings tonight, and they're from different countries. So we've got one from Cuba, one from the Dominican Republic, one from Puerto Rico, and also one from Costa Rica as well. So without further ado, we'll begin in Havana, Cuba. So the first one I wanted to show you guys tonight was the Soviet Embassy, which is in Havana, and it's in Havana's Miramar district. And this is the Soviet Embassy, or now in modern day it's the Russian Federation's embassy, but it was designed by Alexander Roshchagov and was finished in 1987, which was during the era of the Soviet Union. For anyone who doesn't know, the Soviet Union was a collection of countries that existed from the 1920s up to 1991, and Russia was the largest country in that union. And the embassy, as you can see, has a very striking image and was designed to express support for Cuba and its leader Fidel Castro, and his regime, which was ruling Cuba, was Soviet-backed as well, so there was quite a large friendship between the two nations, mainly to antagonise the United States, who were very firmly anti-Soviet. The embassy itself towers over all the nearby buildings and reaches a height of 135 metres, and it occupies a 10-acre compound as well. The tower was also completed on the 70th anniversary of the Russian Revolution, which happened in 1917, and the local nickname for the building is La Spada de Russia, which translates to Russian sword, because of the shape of the building, the apex actually resembling the hilt of a sword. This is like your handle, this is the blade, and then that's the hilt, and it kind of resembles that, hence the nickname. But unlike the exterior, the interior of the building is decorated with marble throughout, and also has scenes of Russian landscapes, with a large glass mosaic of Vladimir Lenin, who was one of the founders of the Soviet Union, in the Grand Hall as well. So the next building is the Basilica of Our Lady of Altagracia, and this is in Higüey in the Dominican Republic. Apologies if I butcher the pronunciation of that. So this basilica is a Latin American church, and it was designed by André Jacques Dunoyer de Sagonac and finished in 1970. So the basilica itself, as you can see, it's got a very unique arch at the top, but it actually combines some of the more brutalist design elements, like the raw concrete and very angular, blocky building pieces, with also some more traditional Latin architecture, hence the name Basilica. The highlight, as I mentioned earlier, was the parabolic arch at the top, which is made of concrete, and this actually rises up to 80 metres high. It's home of the Virgin of Altagracia, who is considered to be the protective and spiritual mother of the Dominican people, and as a result of this cultural importance, the basilica receives thousands of pilgrims each year to visit the site. The interior of the building conforms to the traditional layout of a Latin cross, so the interior is just shaped like a cross, with a large central hall and then a perpendicular corridor further towards the top. And throughout the centre throughout the hall. There are concrete arches spanning the length of that, reaching up to the ceiling. The interior, which is a concrete grey, is also tinted by stained glass windows, which are located near the altar and are decorated in abstract patterns. Some more decorations throughout the interior include a large red and gold mosaic, some gold-plated gates, and also a bell tower of 45 bronze bells, which are all different sizes as well. So the next one is the Hotel El Blok, which is located in Esperanza in Puerto Rico. So this is the newest one on the list tonight. So this was finished in 2014. It's quite a modern brutalist design, and this is located on the island of Vieques, which is a popular tourist destination in Puerto Rico, and located in the small southern town of Esperanza. So this stands quite far apart from the surrounding buildings in its style, because it's quite different to the sort of native architecture of the island. And this is a boutique hotel. So it's quite small. It's only got 23 rooms throughout, but it's built to be luxurious and also to be a monument as well in the design of the building. So the exterior of the hotel features panels which wrap around the top 2 floors and are composed of panels of pale glass fibre reinforced concrete throughout. And closely, if you look in, there are also perforations, little holes throughout. And the design of this was chosen by the architects to resemble coral that had been taken out of the sea. So coral does have holes in it just like this. So it closely resembles that. Also drawing attention to the reefs, which the island is known for by tourists. The design, though, of these panels, though, also has another benefit, which is it actually gives privacy to the guests staying inside, whilst also allowing in fresh air and filtered light as well. So rather than just having glass panels, which are very, very uncomfortable in the sun because they heat up a lot and don't really allow much privacy, this solves 2 problems in one and allows for a nice cool temperature, while also making sure that the rooms stay private for any guests. The hotel itself, while it only has 23 rooms, it also does have a restaurant and a roof terrace as well, which has some slightly different concrete elements in there, but still features the perforated holes in the central columns at the top. It's the Costa Rican Social Security Building, which I'm going to refer to as the CCSS to save quite a bit of time. This is located in the capital city of San Jose and in Costa Rica, and this was finished in 1981 and houses the offices for the Costa Rican Social Security Administration, and it's located in this commercial centre of San Jose. When this was actually finished in 1981, it was one of the tallest buildings in the city, but due to strong economic growth in Costa Rica and the resulting building boom that came as a result of that, the building has now actually been kind of dwarfed in the skyline. It's one of the smaller buildings there. So the facade of the CCSS is made up of complex and irregular patterns of fenestration. So what fenestration is this part here. There are recesses that go further into the building where the windows are, and that's basically just what it is. So there's openings for the windows, and also here as well there's little squares, but they're a regular pattern, so it leads to quite a unique and different facade. And there are balconies dotted along the surface, but also some vertical columns as well. And in the middle of the building, there's a large cylinder which holds a circular staircase right in the centre of the building, and that stretches all the way up throughout the tower and finishes just above the roof line as well. Some other elements of the facade's design includes large openings and walls as well, and these house the small square windows which help to break up the pattern of the surface and just lead to a more irregular design throughout the entire building. So the last building on today's list is the Federated College of Engineers and Architects, which is also in San Jose, and this was designed by Hernan Jimenez Fonseca, and this was finished in 1978, and it houses the country's architects and engineers as well. So they had to make sure that the right person was chosen for the task, especially if it was to house the country's top architects. So the building itself is a long, pretty flat building, which contrasts quite heavily against the neighbouring buildings, which are very vertical and very tall. And the complex geometry of the building makes it look very futuristic as well, compared to neighbouring structures, even to this day as well. So two massive wedge shapes occupy the front and the back of the building, and leave quite a large void underneath, which left a lot of room to play with the interior, allowing a lot of movement between the two, and just leading to some quite big open spaces as well. So the raised plaza in front of the building, the stairs actually ascend into an enclosed atrium just up here, and inside this area there's a reception, a restaurant, some meeting rooms, and also an auditorium. So all the facilities are in one central area, but then each wedge, which is this bit here at the ends of the building, house 4 floors of offices, and also some meeting rooms as well. And these facades are also angled slightly forward in a vertical fashion, but horizontally, which was chosen by the architect to express a spirit of openness and reaching out, which definitely conforms to the philosophy of teaching and the exploration of architecture within the country, since the man Fonseca, who was chosen to build this, was actually one of the pioneers of the country's architectural education, having left the country a few years prior to go and train in Mexico, but had since come back to design many religious, educational and commercial buildings in the area before being chosen for this project. So that is the list for Central America. So the next one, after this, the next region is South America. So there is Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Chile and Argentina also. So in the next video I'll have a look at some of these countries and explore some of the buildings within them. But until next time, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I shall see you for the next video.